Everyone lies to you about life. Your teachers, your parents, your friends, society itself. They tell you it's fair, that hard work guarantees success, that effort alone is enough. But no one warns you about this brutal truth. Life doesn't care about fairness, effort, or good intentions. It doesn't reward virtue. It doesn't wait for preparation. It doesn't honor promises. And most of all, it doesn't pause for your comfort. This is why most people live ordinary lives. They obey rules no one else follows, chase illusions of security, and complain when the world doesn't deliver. They trust the wrong people. They overestimate the kindness of strangers. They underestimate themselves. The moment you accept this, something changes. The moment you face this truth head-on, the rules of life become clear. You see the invisible patterns that govern success, failure, and human behavior. You see the traps no one else warns you about, and you start moving differently, silently, deliberately, with intent. This is not a story about luck, not about being in the right place at the right time. This is a story about awareness, discipline, and the courage to see reality as it is. Most people cannot handle it. That is why nobody warns you. They fear the truth. They want you distracted, compliant, and comfortable. They want you to remain predictable, obedient, and unremarkable. But you are about to see what they hide. You are about to uncover the hidden rules. And you'll realize why mastering yourself is the only way to thrive in a world that does not care. If you are ready to see life without illusions, subscribe now and share this with someone who needs to wake up. The first step is understanding human nature. People are self-interested, always, not occasionally, not in exceptions. Every choice, every interaction, every word, self-interest drives it. Even the people who claim to care the most, even the people closest to you. Most of us ignore this. We assume loyalty, fairness, or goodwill will protect us. That is naive. Life will punish that naivety. You will be disappointed. You will be betrayed. You will fail if you do not prepare for this reality. But there is power in awareness. When you understand the truth of human nature, you stop being a victim of it. You see intentions clearly. You predict actions. You respond deliberately instead of reactively. And that is where true mastery begins. The world will always test you. The harshest truths are not spoken, they are experienced. And only those who confront them survive, grow, and thrive. If you are following this and it resonates, pause and subscribe. Share it with someone who refuses to face reality, because the next section will show the second harsh truth that destroys most people's lives and how to survive it. The second harsh truth most people never learn is simple. Comfort kills growth. Not instantly, not obviously, but slowly, quietly. So quietly that most people never notice until it's too late. Life is designed to challenge you, to push, to test, to stretch limits. But society constantly tells you the opposite. It tells you comfort is safety, that ease equals security, that avoiding struggle is wise. This is a lie. Comfort is a trap. The more comfortable you become, the smaller your world gets. The easier life feels, the less prepared you are for its inevitable storms. Look at those who succeed, the ones who rise above mediocrity. They do not avoid discomfort, they seek it. They embrace struggle. They learn to endure what others flee. They turn obstacles into training grounds for mastery. And this is where most people fail. They are allergic to discomfort. Criticism, rejection, failure, hard work, they avoid it at all costs. They seek validation instead of challenge. They chase approval instead of growth. They settle for mediocrity disguised as comfort. But here is the lesson few dare to teach. Discomfort is your ally, not your enemy. When you stop running from it, when you lean into it, you begin to see life clearly. Every hardship becomes a lesson. Every rejection becomes a mirror. Every failure becomes a guide. And the power you gain from enduring what others avoid is invisible to the world, but undeniable to those who possess it. This is why nobody warns you. They fear the discomfort required to see the truth. They fear that if you truly embrace struggle, you will become unrecognizable, unstoppable, and untouchable. Start small. The next time life challenges you, don't retreat, don't seek comfort. Lean into the lesson. Observe how your mind reacts. Notice the resistance. That resistance is growth knocking at the door. Open it, face it, and do not close it until you are stronger. This is where stoicism becomes a weapon. The mind that can endure hardship, that can observe suffering without panic, that can remain composed while the world collapses around it, this mind becomes unshakable. And the silent ones, the disciplined, the unreactive, they thrive. They move differently because they have trained in discomfort while the rest of the world cowers from it. If you're starting to feel this, subscribe now. Share this with someone who needs to understand that the pursuit of comfort is a trap. Because the next section will reveal the third brutal truth about failure, betrayal, and human ambition, and why understanding it changes everything.
The third harsh truth nobody warns you about is betrayal is inevitable. Not everyone will be honest with you. Not every friend will stay loyal. Not every colleague will have your best interest at heart. Life is not fair, and expecting it to be is a dangerous illusion. You will be disappointed. You will be underestimated. You will be used. People will exploit your trust, your patience, and your goodwill, and it will hurt. But here is the truth few dare to admit. Betrayal is not always a threat. It is a teacher. Every time someone breaks your trust, every time someone disappoints you, every time someone acts in self-interest at your expense, you are being given a lesson in human nature. You are being trained in awareness, discernment, and resilience. Most people react with anger, revenge, or despair. They lash out, they crumble, they lose themselves in resentment. And that is exactly why they remain powerless. The strong, the silent, disciplined, and observant react differently. They pause. They study the situation. They learn from it. They extract insight from the pain. They adjust their strategies. They adapt. Because betrayal is not a failure. It is a mirror. It reflects your assumptions, your blind spots, and your vulnerabilities. And once you see it clearly, you can protect yourself in the future. You can choose allies wisely. You can build systems, habits, and boundaries that no one can violate. And this is where Stoicism teaches us the ultimate lesson. External events cannot control your mind unless you let them. You cannot stop people from betraying you, but you can stop yourself from being destroyed by it. You can respond with clarity, strategy, and quiet power.
So the next time someone disappoints or betrays you, don't panic. Don't react impulsively. Observe, analyze, learn, and move with deliberate intent. The experience is painful, but it is also priceless. If you're following this so far, subscribe now and share this with someone who needs to understand that betrayal is not a weakness, it is a tool. Because in the next part, we'll explore the fourth harsh truth. Failure is unavoidable, and embracing it is how you rise above the rest. The fourth harsh truth nobody tells you is this: failure is inevitable. No one succeeds on the first try. No one escapes mistakes, losses, or setbacks. Life will knock you down repeatedly, and it doesn't care how talented, smart, or prepared you are. Most people fear failure. They avoid it. They overplan, overthink, or stay in their comfort zones to reduce the chance of stumbling. And in doing so, they trap themselves in mediocrity. But the truth the successful understand is simple. Failure is the training ground for mastery. Every setback, every mistake, every loss is a lesson in disguise. It teaches humility. It teaches patience. It teaches strategy. The world is brutal. The ones who thrive are those who do not fear it. They embrace discomfort, betrayal, and failure as necessary ingredients for growth. They do not avoid the storm. They learn to sail through it. Here is the secret most will never admit. Resilience is more valuable than talent. Brilliance means little without the ability to endure, adapt, and rise after being knocked down. And the silent, disciplined few cultivate this in ways the noisy masses cannot comprehend. Every time life humbles you, you have a choice. React impulsively, blame others and waste energy, or pause, reflect, and extract the lesson. The moment you take ownership of your failures, you stop being a victim. You gain control. You gain power. You gain insight that others will never see. And this is where stoicism becomes your weapon. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Your failures are not obstacles. They are your path to mastery, if you choose to use them that way. The people who succeed in life are not those who avoid failure. They are those who learn faster, adapt smarter, and endure longer than everyone else. And that endurance is what builds unshakable strength. So when the world pushes back, when doors close, when opportunities fail, you don't panic. You pause. You observe. You adapt. You grow silently while others waste time complaining. And by the time they catch up, you are already moving ahead. If this is resonating, subscribe now and share this with someone who needs to understand that failure is not the enemy. It is the master teacher.
The fifth harsh truth nobody will warn you about is this: time is the most brutal and impartial force in your life, and it is limited. You are not promised tomorrow. No one is. Every second you waste, every distraction you indulge in, every moment spent avoiding responsibility chips away at your potential. Most people live as if they have unlimited time. They procrastinate, they delay, they complain. They chase distractions instead of mastery. And when life confronts them with its limits, panic and regret follow. But the few who understand this truth live differently. They measure their minutes. They respect every moment. They do not squander energy on trivial pursuits or empty approval. They focus on what truly matters: growth, discipline, influence, and self-mastery. The Stoics remind us constantly that life is fleeting. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Every day you fail to act deliberately, the world moves on without you. And every choice you make is compounded over time. This is why embracing mortality is liberating. When you acknowledge that life is finite, your decisions sharpen, your priorities clarify. You stop fearing discomfort, failure, or betrayal because you realize these are not obstacles, but tools for shaping a meaningful life. Time rewards those who act with intention. It punishes those who drift. You cannot control life's length, but you can control how fully you live it. And that control, this deliberate, disciplined living, is the ultimate power most will never access. So stop waiting. Stop delaying. Stop seeking validation from the world that doesn't care. Observe your life. Embrace the harsh truths and act with purpose. Every moment spent mastering yourself compounds into unstoppable momentum. If this resonates, subscribe now and share this with someone who needs to understand that time is finite and every choice matters. Because the next section will show how all 5 harsh truths connect and how embracing them turns ordinary men into unstoppable forces.
Now, let's put it all together. 5 harsh truths. 5 brutal realities most people will never face, and yet they are the keys to mastery, power, and freedom. Life is indifferent. It does not care about fairness, effort, or intentions. Only awareness and adaptation matter. Comfort is a trap. Growth requires struggle, pain, and challenge. Discomfort is your ally. Betrayal is inevitable. People will disappoint and deceive, but each betrayal teaches strategy, discernment, and resilience. Failure is unavoidable. Every setback is a lesson, every loss a stepping stone, every obstacle a chance to grow stronger. Time is finite. Every moment counts. Every choice compounds. Every second wasted is opportunity lost. These truths are not pessimism, they are preparation. They are the framework of the silent, disciplined, unstoppable man. The one who moves through life with clarity, control, and intention. The one who observes what others ignore, endures what others flee, and acts when others hesitate. This is not a temporary tactic. It is a way of being. Every pause, every observation, every deliberate action compounds into unstoppable momentum. Every choice is intentional. Every word is weighed. Every reaction is measured. And here's the final lesson. When you accept these truths, you are no longer ordinary. You become unshakable. You become rare. You command influence without demanding it. You win without fighting noise. The world will continue to deceive, distract, and challenge you. But now you are equipped. You understand the rules no one else sees. You have mastered observation, embraced discomfort, endured betrayal, learned from failure, and acknowledged the finite nature of life. You are no longer a passive participant. You are a deliberate force. So today, decide to move differently. Speak less. Observe more. Endure what others avoid. Learn from what others ignore. Act with intention. And let time magnify your mastery. If this has shifted the way you see life, subscribe now. Share this video with someone who needs to understand these truths before the world teaches them the hard way. Remember, knowledge is useless without action.
Awareness is meaningless without discipline. And power, true power, is silent, deliberate, and unstoppable. You now see life as it is. You now see the path most fear to walk. Embrace it. Master it. Become the rare force few will ever understand, and even fewer will challenge.
And there is one final unspoken truth. Most people will never see themselves clearly. They will continue to follow illusions, chase comfort, and react to life without awareness. They will never face the harsh truths you have just learned. They will live distracted, ordinary, and frustrated lives, never knowing the power of discipline, observation, and deliberate action. But you are different. You have glimpsed the rules most ignore. You have seen the patterns others fail to notice. You have understood that discomfort, failure, betrayal, and the inevitability of time are not enemies. They are tools. The next step is simple yet profound. Live deliberately. Speak less. Observe more. Endure what others avoid. Make decisions based on insight, not impulse. Move through life with calm authority. Every action, every pause, every choice should reinforce your mastery. And this is where transformation becomes unstoppable. Because knowledge alone changes nothing. Awareness alone changes nothing. But deliberate, consistent action in accordance with these truths changes everything. It shapes your life. It shapes your destiny. It shapes how the world responds to you. So take this moment. Let it sink in. Let it guide you. And when the noise of the world tries to pull you back into distraction, remember what you've learned. The silent, disciplined, and deliberate path is where true power lies. If you are ready to live differently, subscribe now. Share this with someone who needs to understand that life is not fair, time is finite, and mastery begins in silence and discipline. Your life is yours to shape. Choose wisely, act deliberately, and become the unstoppable force few will ever recognize, but everyone will feel.